So I got COVID. It's just the thing to do when you live in Victoria, Australia here. It's just the hottest pack on the streets these days. Everyone's getting their hands on it. Everyone wants to smoke from that Omicron pack. And you know what? It was fine. I was like sick for like, I don't know, 3 days. Like I was on codeine the entire time. So it was actually really good. And I got to miss work. So really, 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 guys, what more can you ask for? Like, get your hands on the Omicron pack. Ask your dealer if he's got it in today. Everyone got to be smoking this one. But this brings me to a statement from the White House, from the Branden's White House, where he says, along the lines of, for the vaccinated, you've done the right thing, we'll get through this. For the unvaccinated, you're looking at a winter of severe illness and death for yourselves, your families, and your community. Ooh, very spooky, very spooky. First of all, I want to acknowledge, like, who the fuck is this for? Like, who is this for? Because, like, can you imagine, like, the Trump QAnon type, like, refreshing on the White House website, waiting for the latest COVID update from Branden to tell him what to do with his life? Please, no. This is not for those people. This is not trying to convince anyone that to get the vaccine or else. This is a message to the in-group, to the speaking to the choir. They are because this is for the triple maskers out in Washington D.C. Because basically the powers that be, as everyone in the world has realized, that all of these lockdown measures and so forth and such have been an abject failure. They haven't stopped anyone from getting COVID. They haven't stopped anything from actually ever happening. And like, who'd have thought, looking forward, the idea that you can't see your family, you can't go to the pub, you can't have fun, but you still have to go to work, right? Who'd have thought that would not work? But anyway, the thing about this is that it's reaching out to the in-group to say that, like, okay, from now, when we are not going to do lockdowns anymore. We're not going to be trying to prevent, to try and protect the healthcare system for the most vulnerable in our community. We are giving up on them because fuck them. We are moving forward. And this is why I say that Branden wants you dead, motherfucker. And you know what? I agree with him. I think I've been saying this all along, as a matter of fact, that we all just got to adopt the get the fuck over it policy. This is by far not the most dangerous virus we've had in human history. This is by far not the most dangerous pandemic we've had in human history. Even in the past 10 years, it hasn't even been the most dangerous, most dangerous like virus that we've had thrown upon us. If you compare it to Ebola or any of these other AIDS, pandemics with a much higher death rate, much higher incapacitability rate, something like that. You compare it to those, it's really not that bad. It's just been blown out of proportion by a media shitstorm and by the government and by the elite in general, because they are so fucking scared of like even the smallest bad thing happening to even the smallest percentage of people. We live in a society where the rules are determined by the weakest and dumbest among us. And hopefully, look at where it got us. I think, that the peak of that was the coronavirus lockdowns last year. But looking forward, I think that this message that we have here from the White House is a sign of change, of things to come, where that is no longer going to be the policy. Because at this point, when this was a new virus, no one really knew much about it. Yeah, sure, I can understand why people would be scared of it. But at this point, we understand that, yes, the vaccines will help you from getting severe illness. Like myself, I got COVID 3 days later, completely fine. If you want to ignore all that and choose not to get yourself vaccinated, hey, fine, good on you. You do you, King. You live your own life. And no one should be forced or pressured into doing a medical decision that they don't want to do against their will, obviously. But the facts of the matter is that the vaccine will help you prevent you from dying, contracting severe illness from this thing. And if you choose along your own free will to turn this down, then absolutely nothing should be given to you to help you with that if you fuck around and in fact find out. Like, we live in a world where fucking around is a human right, but to find out is is alienated from us, right? we have been alienated from finding out. All we do is fuck around now as a society, and this is why we are in the predicament we are in here in late stage capitalism, late stage neoliberalism. If you're the sort of person that has just so objectionable, just so objectionate to any sort of societal, any sort of communal response to anything, including the vaccines, then really all that means is that you're selecting yourself out of the gene pool. And at this point, can we just fucking let these people fuck around and find out? Can we please end with these restrictions for anybody else who actually does anything to help themselves? And that includes just basic things like going outside, touching the grass, getting fresh air and vitamin D, like the best things you can possibly do to help you naturally prevent this virus, as well as just, generally eating well and not being an alcoholic, not being type 2 diabetic, all these things that, the comorbidities, all that bullshit that increases your risk factor. Like, at what point as a society do we have to say that, these people who are either too stupid to get the vaccine, these people who are too unhealthy due to their own personal decisions in their own life to be putting themselves at risk of this? Like, why does the rest of society have to put the brakes on ourselves to help this class of people who would be absolutely no help to anyone other than themselves in any situation? You reckon that these QAnon anti-vax Trumpers are going to come to the rescue? And next time there's a global crisis, this is dead weight. And this is why, when Branden says it's time for you to die, fuck ya. It's time. It's over.